Hello and welcome to Soul Guidance with Adriana. I am an intuitive reader and a clairaudient channel, today with a collective reading. So this is talking about what's going on kind of in the bigger sense, messages from the world soul, messages from higher guidance about how we're all being challenged to grow or examine different parts of ourselves. So let's see what comes out in the reading. As I'm shuffling the cards, I just wanted to let you know that for limited time, I'm offering special solstice readings. Soul, S-O-U-L. So these are really New Year's readings, but they are designed to help you see what needs to be healed, where you're going to be growing, and lots of other good stuff. So if you're interested in checking that out, there is a link in the description below, along with some other information for you about websites, subscriptions, other things. So let's see where we are. Okay, I always like to start by getting a read on the cosmic weather, just the energy that is around and around us in a way that is helping us grow. Okay, so we've got 3 of fire, 8 of fire, a lot of prophetic energy, a lot of visionary energy. The Knight of Earth. Okay, that's a little bit funny to me because we have these very big, expansive, fiery, fast-moving energies, and then Knight of Earth is this inert, I'm not moving anywhere. Okay, so this is interesting, but I think this is actually good because overall what I'm seeing is that we have this expansiveness, we have this quick moving energy, and then we end in something that is more stable. Fiery energy can be erratic. It can be, just think of a fire or a forest fire, a little unpredictable. Definitely changes the energy or changes anything that's in its way. But at the end of it, we need something that kind of anchors it. And it looks as if we're moving quickly to that anchored, rooted spot. So this is an interesting energy. It's actually asking us to look beyond where we are at this time and to spend a little more time visualizing or daydreaming, or perhaps really envisioning where we're going. What is the big expansive picture of where we're going? Because at the end of that journey, we have a chance to really, as I said before, anchor or root it into the ground. And I love to grow plants, and if those roots don't have a chance to really dig into the soil, that plant dies because they don't have any kind of stability. So likewise, any dream or desire that you've been having or that you've been seeing yourself have in the biggest, most expanded version of yourself, it comes to a point where we can anchor it. But there's kind of a protocol or a steps that we have to follow. First is to make sure that we're big and expanded, and that you're thinking from the most possible, can't even use words, the biggest possible place of expansion. And what does that mean? Thinking of yourself without limitations, without limits. I'll share a little bit of a personal anecdote. This actually happened about an hour ago. I was meditating and I got some information about a blockage in myself. And I thought, usually my blockages are related to family beliefs or things that my parents instilled in me, but this actually happened later. It was in grad school for my doctorate that this particular blockage kind of anchored in there. And it was my advisor saying that my success or my path for performance, I was going for a performance degree in piano, and he was saying that the success of my path depended on the intersection of my talents with the needs of the world. And that kind of sounds good in a business way, like, okay, whatever the world needs and whatever I can do with my talents to match that. It seemed like a good thing at the time, but the way it ended up happening or unfolding is that I was sitting there twisting around trying to make my talents match the perceived need, never feeling like I was truly giving my full talent or that my full talent was being accepted. So I was doing these jobs that were really not fulfilling, where I would feel more burned out than energized. And it doesn't make sense, right? Music is what I love. Music is one of my passions, and it should have been giving me energy, but I was in these circumstances where I was playing music I didn't like, working with people that were not great, feeling limited. And I hadn't ever really thought that that was a problem, that little thing that he told me was a problem. But my guidance said to me, look at the limitation in that way of thinking, that you have to somehow change and move your talents around and twist and take only part of them instead of all of them in order for the world to be accepting of them. And it was also saying that the benchmark for acceptance was based on what the world needs. And there's nothing wrong with that as a business model. But for me at this time, it's really about embracing the whole gift, because it made me want to reject part of myself because the world had no need for it. And there's a different way of thinking, which is we're given gifts for a reason. We're given particular talents or qualities or things that can help others for a reason, because we all have something to contribute. So if you sit there rejecting part of that part of yourself, then the world never fully gets it and you never discover. And that's what I feel like this message is talking about. How small are we trying to make ourselves? And where are you saying, well, this part of me is okay because people like it, but this part of me isn't because there's really no place for it? What if that's not the point? What if in accepting all of it, then that opens the pathway? So I kind of feel like, even though we've talked about this Knight of Earth as an anchor, she's also a block, because these energies don't flow to me. They don't look like they're not doing that. It's like, so where are you blocking yourself? Where are you blocking yourself from being expansive? Where are you blocking yourself from fully accepting and loving all of yourself, even if no one else, or there doesn't seem to be a reason or a need for it? Where are you blocking yourself there? So that's really the energy around us right now. And okay, I'm going to pull one more message through before I switch over to the extended. I forgot to mention, I will be doing an extended reading for this reading. So if you'd like to follow me over there, you just go to the description below and you'll see the link that says Read the Extended. But for now, let's get one more message here. Okay. Four of Earth, and that limitation energy, and the Sun. So it's similar message, but in a little different frame of mind. It's still that fire-earth combination that we had here, fire and earth. But I feel like the Sun is shining the light on anything that keeps you so stubbornly rooted or stubbornly stuck. I'll just say stuck. This is really interesting that these two cards were chosen, because out of all the Earth cards, they have a lot of similarities. The stubbornness, the tenacity, the I'm digging in and I'm not moving. I mean, visually, she does such a great job of showing you that. But why specifically this Four of Earth with the Sun? This is interesting too, this vantage point, the higher vantage point, looking down, all the way down to the earth where she's stuck. Whereas here we were looking out. Okay, so what's the message here? Why are we using these cards? Okay, so I'm getting that I need to tell the story a little bit of a different way. The Four of Earth represents a fear, and it represents a need to stay controlled. And when we stay controlled, we tend to want to exert influence over a limited amount of space. You can see that in the way she's got these trees framing it. It looks kind of like a house. So this is her domain. This is where she exerts her will. And the problem with doing this is that a lot of times we don't realize that we can live in a bigger house than what we allot ourselves. That our area of influence, our sphere of influence, and our potential to expand is much bigger than where we want to put ourselves. But control and fear is a contraction energy, so it draws in, and that's why you see smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. I've noticed this, I love crafts, I love handmade things, but I've noticed something about seamstresses, that they have a lot of control patterns in their psyche, and I think some of it is because the work is done so fine, and you're like this all the time, and you can see it in their bodies, you can see it in even the way they talk. So where are you contracting yourself where you're not allowing that expansion to happen? Because over contracting actually weakens your muscles. Over contracting, because the muscles have to work in a pair, right? Contract and release. If you over contract, you're actually tiring them out, and you're shortening and shortening and shortening, which is corresponding to your limiting that sphere of influence. And the message right now is to drop that control, relax, and start to slowly expand, because even these little things, if this isn't your daily pattern, there's something in you somewhere, some part of your system, some part of your psyche that is holding one of these control patterns, and it's saying, I can only do so much, I can only take on so much. And the universe is saying, really? But we designed you for something more, we designed you for bigger. So this is the time to question those feelings of contraction, to question those feelings of limitation, and I can't, and I shouldn't, and it's not right, or it's not appropriate, or they won't like it. Time to question all of those. So as I said, I'm going to keep drawing cards for you. I think we'll even get into this message a little bit more about how to help you shift out of there. So if you'd like to follow me over, again, please click the description below. And all of the zodiac sign readings for December are out, and they're on the channel. So I encourage you to look at your sun, moon, and rising sign if you know them, at least your sun. So I'll look forward to seeing you soon.